Good evening, everybody. How are we getting on? We all okay? How have all your weeks been so far? So tonight for you we've got no assist, we've got obviously yet again Hungary this week. I'm not hungry, I've just eaten, but how about you lot? So we're going to get these guys up and running very shortly. It is 7:30. We are just waiting for the go-ahead from the host. And there, obviously, we should then be all ready to go. So obviously, we are kind of getting through to kind of the business end of this now. Eventually, we are on and about halfway through. Got the standings on here and of who we've got at the top. So obviously, championship leader at the moment is 10-10. Does have a 31-point gap back to John. Deflatively hanging on to John as well. There is just 8 points in that one. So deflated on 125, 39 off the lead. In fourth, Joseph Hales as well. So is yet to win this season, but has again hung on rather well. It's obviously a consistency sort of thing with him that has got him up to the point he's at the moment, but about halfway through the season, still plenty of time for all that to juggle around. To figure out whether we are actually going or not tonight. There we go, we are ticked and ready to go. We will be getting going very, very shortly. So we have 19 drivers tonight. We are back in the F1 liveries as well. They have EA fixed the game, apparently. But we are then looking at, say, a little bit more of a familiar setup, a little bit more of a commentator-friendly setup this time. After a week in Silverstone with the strange sort of liveries. There's Deton. And saving tyres for what, Deton, though? Unless you're going to do like an ultra quick 2-stop. Just smash it out. Smash it out. We'll see Q3. I know Hungary is a terrible track, but go for it. Yeah, no, give it a go, honestly. Safety, safety car. Literally just keep it through the middle. Don't do what I managed to get at, or I managed to get done to me at Stub on Sunday and end up with a car on your front end. Don't do that. There we go. Oh, audio's gone. Hang on. Ah, bingo. There we go. So obviously TD never disappoints. TD is always on the track first. And with TD we always go around for a first lap. 81 tradition or NA traditions for this one. I almost thought I was watching the wrong tier. So of course this track is, as I say, a little bit of a pain. You kind of only get one overtaking zone. You tend to think obviously between turns 1 and 2 it's a bit of a, well, it's a bit of an ambitious one really to get any sort of overtaking done. So a lot of this is on pace and dumping your battery at the end of the start-finish straight if you are running a bit more downforce. TD is getting ready to go for us here. Takes a nice sort of wide sweeping line through, and we are underway for qualifying. Here goes TD. Down toward first turn here. Kind of waves goodbye to the apex on the way through. He will hug that inside line that becomes the outside for turn 2. Little clunky little corner, that one. Comes and opens it up nicely through turn 3. Now up towards track limits heaven. TD keeps it well with him. There we go. Nicely done on that one, but oh, got on the curbs. Just a little bit through the long right-hander of 5. Just had to correct that. But as see to that point looked okay. So obviously whatever TD puts on the board, we know he's got a bit more in. It's been looking very safe with track limits as well. So we need that Merc to get out of the way. There we go. Hugs the inside through the penultimate corner onto the last. Really throwing it in there. Sweeping around and out towards the start finish line. Your benchmark to 116.8. And let's see whether anyone can improve on that. I believe got a Williams on the roll here. That's Ross is on that one. I think we have got one of Deaton or John, sorry, just ahead of him. He's starting a lap, but Ross will be the next round after Flamingo Eagle. Flamingo Eagle goes 4/10 slower than TD. Where can Ross put it? Up to second, 16.9, and yet again TD's lap is looking a bit handy. It's good there. Very good lap so far. It is looking. Jump on board with Jake. Plates will be next to complete. Holding it around the outside for the penultimate, but good exit through. What's he got? Beats that guy by, let's see, about sort of quarter of a tenth nearly there. And D-Bomb comes through in The second Mercedes was 17.2, so that's a good looking kind of a midfield type lap, really, I'd say there. Solid there. TD is getting out of the way. Got some people starting some laps now. We've got Kimi, obviously has been through but done one that he's not particularly happy with, or invalidated. And John lays down the real gauntlet, 16.1. Of course, that will come down as well. So there's the one to beat from the Haas driver. Down towards that final sector. See what we've got going on down there. Goes Kimi, and I think Jay Clate's dived in. To keep track of who is where, really. Kimi's starting a lap. Let's have a lap with Kimi. See what he can produce. Let's give it a go. We've all been on softs, bar that guy at the moment, by the looks of it. Yep, that guy the only one to set that lap on the mediums. And Kimi looking like he went in a little bit deep on that one. But he seems to have levelled himself off well for turn 3. Sweeping through the uphill section. You can hear the curbs going on the audio. Pops it back up. Little bit of a shake on the way out of turn 5, but nothing as major as what you saw from TD earlier. And then sweeping through the remainder of the second sector. I don't think you really want to see any car at any point on this run, but it is a clean enough lap from Kimi so far, I'd say, except for turn 2. See what it produces. Sweeps around the penultimate, uses as much curb as he can get there. Really quite gutsy, and taking third, really powering it up through the final corner. And up to 6th there, 17.9, just scraping into 17s. There's again a decent sort of benchmarking lap though for Kimi, and of course we know there's going to be more in there. Let's see where Joseph is now. To the line with the Aston Martin, second with 16.3. So qualifying ended now. You have Aston Martin second and third. Go. Now, Rids, how are you getting on? How was the birthday Saturdays? How were they? We've got 10-10 on your screen at the moment. The championship leader as it is right now. Coming up towards that complicated little left kink there. Seems to navigate it nice and easily. And so far again, seeming reasonably flawless as always, you'd tend to say, from 10-10. We're really kind of powering it through, and we're expecting this one to be kind of a challenger to John there. Let's have a see where he turns up again. Really quite aggressive through a final turn, sending it in. Lots of curb on the way out. Straight line exit, 16.2. A 10th off still from John. Let's see who else we've got on track. Yeah. Got Padge on one as well. Sorry, Padge, we're going to follow you. Let's see what he can produce there. Currently his teammate is holding the runners up of the ones who have set a lap. I'm looking really quite solid on this one so far. Let's see how much of the curb he takes. Nice little bit on there. They still need to change those curbs on this game. Follow him through there. Too much curb, you can't quite get on the power as early on here sometimes. Just comes down a gear for the long right at the end of the second sector. And waves the apex goodbye really on the slightly shorter right in the beginning of the third. Goes up to fourth, really traction on there. Hugging that inside line, waiting, getting on the throttle. And Padge up to 12th there. 17.8, impressive lap that one. Good stuff from Padge. Let's see what Beaton has got. Top three have retired. They are all confident they are three. Alright, Steely's on it. Love it. Make broken fans on the hands, kayak in Xbox and Scotch. Yep. Oh dear. That sounds like a cracking weekend. There we go. Oh dear. Love it. Let's see. So, how are you doing, Steely? Oh, ooh, deflated. Went into turn 4. I say looked like it had a decent first sector. Really just got a little bit hot in there, I think, by the looks of that. Just when it came in, and the car was not gonna turn that far at the speed he was asking it to go at. So deflated will need another go. See who else we've got on a lap. Anyone really kind of coming to the line? I think TD is starting one. Doesn't think he's safe on 16.8, but it's an impressive lap. I think he's maybe just proving to himself he can do it again. But let's see. Oh, this does like ascend into turn 2. Well, a couple of them are liking ascend, as I say, through there. Not kind of really apexing at a late point or anything like that. Just as a old-fashioned send and keep it in the middle of the tarmac. That's a better exit from TD than the first lap was there. And Chronicle, as he picks his way through the curbs, those high curbs at the chicane. All on the tarmac there. A little bit into the curbs, keeps it to 6th place, or 6th gear. So far looking very, very solid, this one. Let's see, only the final corner left to go for TD. This could be a very, very good lap. Yeah, how much we lost exactly there? 16.6 there, so there was another couple of tenths in it at least from the slip at turn 5, the exit there. Done very well with that lap though. Deflated coming round. He's going to finish this one and then have a slow crawl to the pits afterwards by the looks of it. The fuel is low. But he goes up to 2nd there, deflated, and throws that in the ring for a potential pole position. It's a good lap. Very, very good lap. So we will lose 4 at the end of this session. Currently those 4 are Deton, J-Clates, Sungod and Padge. Padge only just over 0.02 of a second away from Kimmy on that one. And you've got Greg and Asthma Frog, CMR Frog as he is now, all well within shooting range of that there as well. So could be on for a 7-way battle for survival in Q3 here. Jay Clates is on one at the moment. Let's see what we can do to get towards a Q3 appearance. TD is obviously retired from second there, I'd imagine debatable as well. There's a bit of a lock-up in there from Jay Clates, and keeping the line very wide on that one. Towards the final turn now. All the way up to the line. What can the Red Bull driver produce? Gone 15th for now. But somehow found a time gap in between Kimi and Asthma Frog. We are from 13th to 17th. We're separated by all of just over 0.07 of a second. This is going to be close. Get the popcorn out, everyone. This is going to be fun. Keaton, crank a little more downforce. Go for it. Just a little more front wing. And I'm not supposed to say things like that, but an AT2 driver operating above a station, so you know. Let's see what Padge has got. Deaton retired. Oh dear. Okay. Well, last two challenge for Deaton then. Let's do it. Let's see what Padge has got. Well, currently he's got that guy on the same bit of track just ahead of him, who we will want out of the way. Goes over the inside of the chicane there. Padge seems undistracted by that there. Okay. Well through there. 2/10 up on the current time there, Padge. So definitely a good improvement if we can keep it nice and clean through these final few corners. Get that McLaren out of Q1. Let's see what we can do. And up to 13th there, 17.3. So pulls about half a second on what he had before. Very, very good lap from Padge. Should go a long way to seeing him through to Q2, that one. Kimi is currently best of what's on track at the moment. And he'll be next through. Asthma Frog's been through. Just managed to squeak into start one by the looks of it. All about 4 seconds there. Kimi will be the next to finish, and this will be the first one. 15th place, 17.5. Close. This is getting close, and Greg has run wide on his lap there. Hasn't lost it, so can keep pushing. And run wide again, and that one he has lost. Greg will be out of qualifying. There he goes. We've got Asthma Frog, CMR Frog now to see if he can be the last one to upset the party. Can he take Kimi out of qualifying? He can't, he's invalidated. So that is as good as that as far as qualifying is concerned. CMR Frog invalidates just out of the second sector. And say it, turn 11 has claimed another victim there. It's not even turn 11. Turn 9 who's done it, let's say. Turn 11 was Greg, but CMR Frog crossed the line to end the session. And that is that for Q1. So Deaton will start from the back. We've got Jay Clates just ahead there. Good effort really from all of these drivers, I'd say. Especially around this place. And then Asthma Frog, obviously 17th, was a good, well, I'd say, was a good lap. He was on 4 before the before that invalidation, and is joined in the garage at the end of Q1 by Greg as well in 16th, having invalidated at turn 11. And just got away with one at turn 9 as well. So Kimi and Padge both get through. Padge quite comfortably in the end. At the top of the session though is John, getting deflated by a 10th, leading 10-10 by little more than that as well. Joseph and that guy still all around it as well. Let's say a decent first session in the books there. Let's see the same for Q2. Oh gosh, Joseph Hale's fan club's in. Let's see Q1 reaction. It's slow but goes top on the Q1. Don't feel comfortable at all. I don't think anyone feels comfortable when they're at Hungary. Okay. I think this is possibly one of the most uncomfortable tracks in an F1 car ever. It is horrendous. Oh gosh. Grumpy's gone in the chat with the Max Verstappen song. Hales. I'm not singing it. Let's see. J Clates. I think it'll probably be done by Deton's wings into turn 1, so let's say bide your time. It was a decent qualifying, let's say you were close in the end. On first runs you were, what was it, all of, as I said, 700ths of a second away, so like I say, all these drivers I think have got more than a chance. This is a big kind of hotspot track for some carnage, really. I mean, this is how I finished second on it last season. It's, you know, it is a carnage track. Yeah. Let's see, TD, what's happened? We've grown to know the TD who will be the first out, but not this time. It's Prev who will kick us off on flying laps. Let's see what it can do. Again, a lot of drivers preferring that little bit of a slightly wider line through. And up towards track limits paradise. Ooh, took a lot of curb on the way in. I think there might have been a brown river out of that one. That's very, very unideal from Brev there, but keeps it going. Keeps it going at some pace as well. Go just hanging on to track limits there. 54.8 on there through 2 sectors. And it down to the final 2 turns now. Long sweeping left, followed by long, never-ending really sweeping right. Comes in wide, late apex on it. Good exit. And we are on a 16.8 from Prev. Good lap to get us going. We've got John coming to the line now as well. Hi Goldilocks. How is the absolute legend that is? Okay. We have John. Oh yes, we are definitely getting competitive now. 15.7. We are into the 15s, everybody. John has taken us there. Ross has come in with a 16.5. I think that guy looks like he's attempted but invalidated. Joseph's obviously had a warm-up. And let's jump on board with the Aston Martin driver. Again, tends to know his way around an F1 track more than most. This is just for you, Grumpy, as well, so you can see that. Just clinging on with track limits again. Oh, shaking, gone through the 150. Just come off completely. Backing off, I would imagine there, Joseph. Very, very shaky on the exit of turn 5, and let's say nothing you could have done to avoid the brake board there. And let's jump on with 10-10, then another top kind of competitor. And survives the area where Joseph came off there. Takes a good line just to, again, have to be absolutely surgical through those curbs, and he was there. The Scotsman in that Mercedes. Sweeping it through, taking the top of 5th gear all the way through, and then releasing down the straight. Going in toward right-hander at 12. Long left at 13. And then the long right at 14 to take as well. And through to the line for 10-10. What's he got? It's a 16.0, so he finds himself about 3/10 off of the pace of John. Still ordinarily more than good enough for a second place, isn't it? But it's a superhuman pace that John sets sometimes. And equally, I'd say the same for 10-10 too. I'm grumpy to stop stalking Joseph. I put the stream on to Joseph just so he could see that error. Sun God has invalidated one. Let's jump on board with Small Smiley, see what we've got with the Ferrari driver. Was not really mentioned in Q1, got through nice and comfortably through there. Currently on a decent lap, but we'll need that traffic to get out of the way. There we go, Williams just about jumps away. And Small Smiley will sweep through towards the line. On the send line there. Keeps it on the curve on the way out and jumps up to 5th place. Good lap from Smaller Smiley, that. 16.7 on the board. Of course, Q1 cutoff is currently over a second shy of that. Of course, we have still got some quick drivers to come in. Obviously, TD and Deflated, no exception to that, as Deflated then proves the point and goes 3rd. Got some, let's say, a couple more drivers to actually settle up with 7.5 minutes left in this session. We have got Sun God, who will be followed through by 10-10, or TD. I see TD 10 and get confused. Sun God can do that. Running a little low on energy as well, so this is going to be hardly ideal. You don't do a lot of braking in this section, so you need to preserve that all the way down to the braking zone. Going to be close. Could be okay there though. I would imagine the run to the line might be a little bit slower than anticipated, but I can see it just about working for Sun God. Where I can put this one here. 16.9 up to 9th place. And obviously, and then 10th there as TD comes through in 8th. So we've got a fair bit of a split so far. Of course, we have still got Joseph to come through. Get him on there, but currently we've got 10th on a 16.9, we've got 11th on a 17.7. So the cut-off isn't necessarily close, it's just the midfield. Joseph might well be about to change that. Let's see what we've got. He could be throwing some other drivers into a whole world of hurt here. Up to the line for the Aston Martin, third place on that one. And that should just about do it on a 16.0. Him and 10.10 again may well be considering themselves a little more comfortable. That guy will be panicking, and he is out to get a lap in. Seems to always do some slightly weird timings with some of the runs that he does. There's that guy, but let's say equally tends to get quite a good lap out of it usually. Of course, is pretty good in the races as well. We know that. So nice and tight through the final, or the penultimate turn. Kept it in fourth all the way around there, and does the same on here, releasing it to fifth as he hits the exit curb and goes up to second. What a lap that guy! What a lap! 16.056. You can go back into the garage and enjoy a cold one, sir. That is brilliant. Closest we've been to John's time so far is that one from the McLaren driver. That guy could now have a little bit of a battle on for that final spot in Q3 by the looks of it. We've got Smaller Smiley, D-Bomb, TD, Prev and Sun God you could throw a blanket over. All within about a tenth of a half of each other there. The improvement is more than possible on this one, and that guy showed it as well. We do currently have Ross on track, so we're going to follow Ross around. He is on a lap by the looks of it. Jumps in onto that entry curb at turn 4. Keep it nice and clean there. Stays well away from those curbs on the exit at turn 5. Good move there. And now you kind of just throw it around. You know, left, right, you know, really sloshing the car through. Let's see, it's looking tidy. It is looking tidy as that guy does retire for a cold one. Well done, Ross. Maybe a little bit wide on exit there, wider than he may have wanted. But is holding good speed all the way through. And goes up to 6th there, but takes another 3/10 off of his time. So again, might well see him through that one. As Deflated retires. And there goes Joseph as well. So we've got just under 240 left in this session. And we have got some drivers who definitely need a lap, positioned between 8th and 15th. Novi is one I've not talked about really much as well, but might find himself possibly a little bit squeaky bum depending on some of the improvements on here. But I think a 16.5 is probably about as close as you'd want to be. Let's see where we are with Prev now in the Alpha Tauri. One of those drivers who does desperately need the lap. Let's see what he can do around the final turn. Big push to the line, and Prev is up to 8th with a 16.5. It looks like Novi's time might be under a little bit of pressure a little bit later on. It's going to be very, very close for him. I'd say a little bit squeaky bum maybe. TD looks like he's on a quick one. Again, just keeping it clean toward the final sector. Always key on here. Possible tyres, that's okay. TD up to 7th. 16.3 should see him through, and it eases Novi a little bit closer to the trapdoor there. We have got, let's see, we have got Padge on track, but there is basically no energy in that McLaren. He's going for it anyway, and he kind of has to. This has to be a good one from Padge to see him through. There's next to no energy still. Sitting about 3% as we get to the bottom here, and again, obviously, you do a little bit of braking, but it's not a massive amount. Dives into the pits. Looked like he was on one there, Padge, but nothing for the McLaren driver as Kimi retires. One was in there for a second. I think he's possibly had a little bit of a ding there. Let's have a look at Sungod. Again, needing a lap. 16.9 is what he's on at the moment. What is he going to improve to? 16.6. Not enough, and goes out in Q2 in that Alfa Romeo. So that is just one more spot up for grabs. It is D-Bomb, aiming to knock Prev out. Needs just under 0.3 improvement to see Prev out of this session. A slow sort of entry to penultimate corner. Not really throwing it in, but throwing it a little bit more toward the final corner. Up to the line and only goes 11th. Misses out on Q3 by 15 thousandths of a second. And the Mercedes driver hits the post. But no dice for him there. Prev to the last one on track, but he is through now. And the Dutchman can participate in the final session. And Novi, as I said, was eased a little bit closer to the trapdoor, but still managed just about to stay out of it. Say only, what was it? Only another 0.06 of a second between him and D-Bomb there.
The biggest change being the engines, which were changed from 2.4 litre V8 engines to 1.6 litre turbocharged V6 power units. Along with this came integrated complex digital systems such as
D-Bomb about to drop the F-bomb after missing out by 15 thousandths. Go on, Josh. Oh, wow. So that is Q2 all done there. Obviously, your 5 drivers out. As we said, we've got Kimi, who retired. We've got Flamingo Eagle, Padge, Sungod, and D-Bomb. Very, very close between where Sungod was and the up to Novi was about 1/10.5 in it. So close on there, but Novi and Prev survive. And John again tops the session. 0.3 difference this time. Get the feeling the American's about to stamp his authority on this session. It's definitely a good sort of start for him. There we are, seconds away from getting Q3 underway. It's John and that guy from 1010, and Joseph at the top of the session there.
Races a year, we can expect the 2000 GP to happen around the year 2064.
There we go. So we have the top 10 getting ready for the shootout here. We are currently listening to that boring bloke spout facts through. But TD has been let off the jacks, and he will get us underway again. And the Stampede seems to have now come out behind him as well. I think almost everyone's come up behind him there. Now we're keen. There we go. Okay. Any predictions for pole, anyone? Anyone got... I'm going to put the neck on the line. I don't think there's a lot of necks going on lines with predictions, to be honest. It's got to be John, I think, at the moment. That's he has been very, very quick throughout the session so far. The American obviously really liking this track compared to some others. 1010 obviously has been a little bit off the pace, which is unlike him, but again, when John gets a track he's good at, he doesn't really stop. That's good as going for Q3. TD is primed and ready, and he will get us started. So let's follow him around as always. Number 5 as well, so got the Vettel number. Just realised that. We'll be looking to make a good mark on this track. Bumping over the inside curbs on there. Top Gun has joined. We might well have a full 20 for the race. Top Gun's left. We might not. So TD obviously keeping it nice and clean, has managed to keep the car on the track, obviously over the curbs at the exit of turn 5, which is something that obviously he has come a cropper on, as has 1010. Good point. No, Joseph, sorry 1010. TD taking a nice amount of curb through there, just letting that rotate the car, and then comes down to these final couple of corners. Nothing that will help you rotate on these. All your own skill. Awkward couple of turns there, but through to the line. TD 15.9. We are into the 15s with TD. And Joseph follows him through, takes 10th and a half off it. Ross will be next to third with a 16.5. And next through, I believe, is Prev, 17.0 for him. And that guy, he looks like just about to start one. 1010 I think was on something and then dived into the pits. John goes fastest for the 15.4. He's been taking time off it all the way through. That's been an insane lap there from John, but deflated. Keeping within 3/10 this time, 15.6. A very good lap from the Alfa Romeo driver there as well. Who else have we got on track? Smaller Smiley in the final sector now. See what he can produce there. Again, it's been a much better session from Smaller Smiley. We're having a good sort of time of it now. Up to 5th on a 16.3. Next one round will be what's into the pits. So that guy to complete the lap. Start a little bit lower on energy, but hasn't hampered him too much. 17.1. Wonder if he's struggled a little bit through that one. Novi has got limited energy left, but is going to finish the lap. Hugs the inside line, releases it well, and goes up to 6th place. 16.4 is what he has come up with. We await 1010. The only driver not to set a lap in that first run. And for the rest of these drivers, it'll be on the way to the pits. We're about halfway through the session, so they'll be able to get themselves geared up for one more run. 1010 is going to try and squeeze this one in, come round, and then go for another lap at the end as well, I would assume. And it's fixed a new set of soft tyres to that car. Gets it nice and steady, and now will gun it. Takes as wide an entry as he possibly can into that final turn to really set himself up for the lap. Let's get him going. So, on board here. Just with that. Oh, the sorry, was it getting out of the way? There. And storming down toward turn 4 now. The awkward little turn at the best of times takes a little bit of curb again. I don't know if it started to rotate the car maybe a little bit early, but I think it has just worked out. And again, keeping nice and clean, probably as close as you would want to get to that raised part of the curb on the inside there of 7. Blitzing it through 9, just taking as much track as you can get away with, connecting to the white line. Onto 11 and now to 12 through the final, or through the second sector. We're on a 53.9 through the 2. Maybe looks a little bit hesitant off board into the second to last. We throw it around for the final turn. Good exit, and looks 10-10 put together a 15.491. We are within a tenth of John, everybody. Sound the klaxon. There is a battle on now. There we go. See, everyone else will be gearing up for their final runs. Prev is on that final run. He goes in there. He's taking a fair amount of curb there. I wouldn't do that myself, but again, this is why I'm ATT. Jumping it through there, maybe a little bit later than he would have wanted on the throttle, but diving in, trying to keep it nice and narrow for the next turn through that section. And then looking at a decent second sector from Prev, that one. See how quick you can get on the throttle. He's been improving obviously all the way through this season so far. How can he fare on this one? On what will presumably be a final run in Q3, up to 6th with a 16.1. Good lap from the AlphaTauri driver. Certainly gets him going on there. You've then got that guy on one as well. You might as well watch while he's on his flying lap. Apparently it is now routed to the bottom and getting cut adrift at the minute. But, oh, and that won't help. That won't help his cause at all. He's lost it on the way into turn 5. So there he will have to have another go. Yeah. Charge it all up and go again there for that guy. Okay. Obviously we've got Ross now on the lap, getting through the part where that guy ended up going round. Just keeping it clean again, just taking about as much track as you can possibly get away with on the exit of turn 9. Battling the curbs and some. What line have we got through turn 11? Just kissing the curb on the way through. Really what a cracking little camera view that one is. He looped it round. Penultimate turn towards the final one. Ross produces a 15.8, gets himself up into a provisional 5th place. Deflated hasn't activated the energy, so he is letting Prev go. Prev is definitely having one more go on that set. Tell that's gone in with some vigour through there. Seems to have slowed down rather nicely for Chicane. And I do like the way Prev drives on this. In, jumping on a little bit of curb. We're going to switch to that guy for a moment. No, he's invalid. Just to see whether he could have produced anything. He will have one more go at it. Prev, should he wish, would have one more go, although there wouldn't be a lot of energy left to do it with. Prev's improved again to 4th. There's nearly 4/10 improvement in that. The 15.7 is a cracking lap from the Dutchman. Really, really good lap from Prev. And Novi and Deflated did get through to start one more. Deflated will be following Novi through most of this. And Ross is into the pits, so we are going to have Small Smiley to the line first up there. A little bit shaky on the final turn, just getting on the throttle a little bit quickly. Lost a bit of time in the end there. Not by a lot, but John's improved more. There's another 10th and 3/4 in that there. 15.2, 10-10 to the line. So he got 15.3, close again, 0.06 of a second in that, just over. With Joseph coming up in 3rd place with a 15.5. We've then got teammate TD unable to improve. That guy coming to the line, he has invalidated. No good lap from that guy this time. Novi still with Deflated in tow. Is next to cross the line, just hangs on to the lap. Jumps up to 8th. 16.0 is a good lap from him there, and Deflated, presumably ever so slightly hindered by Novi just in front of him with the turbulent wake. Keeps 4th place though. And that is your order. John takes pole with 10-10 seconds. Standout performance though, I would say. Besides the obvious at the top, there's got to be Prev. A cracking lap to get him 5th place on the grid. There you go. Hi Demon, and hi Cod Camper. That's I've only just seen that prediction, but it wasn't a brilliant one, was it? No. John just knows he can go quicker. He sees a prediction and goes, I'll have a little bit more. But there we go. So that is session over. And we have John to take pole. He will start on the front row alongside 10-10. And Joseph Hales and Deflated will share the 2nd row. Prev will be 5th. The cracking little lap, as I said, from him. Ross in 6th. TD in 7th. Novi in the Alpine is in 8th. Smaller Smiley takes 9th. And that guy is unable to knit a good lap together on that final run. That takes P10. P7 is decent, TD, let's say. So, again, always room for chaos on this track, so P7's not bad. And that will be that for this qualifying session. So, see, it looks a little bit darker, but I would presume it stays dry. Shall we do a featured driver? Shall we get to know another one of our drivers in the break? We've got another 4 minutes to go. Formation lap will be on as well. Let's get to know one of these guys or who is on our grid. So I think, to be fair, it's probably a good one to go for John, I would say. Absolute stormer of a pole position he's taken there. He's been rampant all session. Let's learn more about the American, obviously. Of course. So John is 22. As I said, he's from the USA and as an occupation works in IMSA in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series and SRO for GT4 America with Porsche. So his knows his way around some racing, I would say. Cracking little stuff. Cracking little bit from John there. It explains where most of the pace comes from, I'd imagine. Hobbies and interests include racing and golf. Fair enough. Yeah, and is using a wheel. That's the Fanatec Club Sport V2 wheel. Now, it only makes sense that his favourite driver is a Haas driver. So, Kevin Magnussen is the one that we've got listed for John. As I say, fair enough, he's in K-Mag's car. Favourite track is Canada. Well, American liking Canada a bit more than America itself. Racing strengths, race pace, strategy, tyre management, clean racing, not crashing. Easy enough for John, let's say, just tick them all. And Season 5 goal. And he's ticked the option which states the championship is mine. Capital mine. Now he knows, knows exactly what he's after here, and that's absolutely apparent in here. As I say, he's got a good standing to go after that championship as well. But yes, let's say that is a little bit more about John. And Rids, yes, it is very much the rubbing his racing series, isn't it? Super Cups and the obviously the IMSA lot, let's say. And Jake Cates is left. Oh gosh. So we should be getting underway fairly shortly. Hope everyone has had a chance to have a break, have a drink. Jake Cates is back in, so all is well on there. We are waiting for players. And we should have a full grid of 20 because it looks like Top Gun has come to join us. There will be a formation lap. So we can have a little bit of time to set up and not so much absolute craze as I scramble for any sort of graphics and things like that there. So we've got 20 on the grid. We've got Jake Cates, D-Bomb and D-Ton all starting on the softs. Camper, I think the presumption is that it is fixed. I believe it has been tried. See if we manage to find a way to break it. I'm sure we'll turn it off again. But yes, so that is 3 kind of outliers on the soft tyre there. I've got 1010, Joseph, Prev, TD, Sungod, Padge, Kimmy and Aspen Frog all starting on the hards, with the rest taking a medium tyre. So there's a fair split between the medium and the hards. Let's say it will be an interesting game of strategy, this one. See exactly how it all goes. But it will be a close run. I think 2-stop is viable if we have 2 fresh soft tyres. There's cold camper. So looking at possibly a 2-stop maybe for Jay Clates, let's say. With Deton as well. I think Deton was on about saving some tyres, so be okay there, but I presume it will be looking maybe more like a 1-stop for some of the other guys. Say this is not a track that you can pass on all that easily. We'll get lined up onto the grid. John will wait for Pack to form up behind him. Got Top Gun going around. D-Bombers, I would assume, missed his mark. And Top Gun, I believe, has probably missed his mark as well. So here we go, and there's already a glitch in there. No, that's okay. We got our 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Joseph getting off to a bit of a wheel spinny start there, and 1010 is right up alongside John toward turn 1. Will he send it in? He's got it to the inside, but John with a good run around the outside keeps the position. Padge has gone backwards, Deflated has taken Joseph, and TD has ended up going backwards, as has Sungod. We are going to follow these guys. There's a bit of chaos back there. That guy is round. Kimmy is off. Novi is off as well. Padge, as I said, looked like he'd been stuck in something at the beginning there. And we've got people going side by side through turn 4 at full pelt. Jay Clates, I think, has come a cropper in that particular instance. And comes back onto the track in last place. It's the clean one in the top 5 or 6. The rest of them at the back, bit more kind of knocking around. Might see a couple come in for some fresh parts on the car. We've got 1010 backwards, 1010's off. Oh wow, what is going on there? 1010 has been off. Deflated, I think, has come off as well. Not caught up with the battle at the front, but Deflated and 1010 believe have been involved, and that surely throws both of their chances of winning as well. Just as I was cursing it by saying it was a cleanish start as well, we've now got John from Ross, from Joseph, from Prev at the top. And Top Gun is up to 9th from the very back in just over a lap with all of that chaos. Incredible. Greg up to 7th. This is a real mixed up order now. This could be an exciting one, everyone. We've got Ross defending from Joseph there. Mediums versus hards. Is Joseph gonna... No, he's not going to send it up the inside. Good move. But all of this is allowing John just to get away a little bit. I think we knew John would have more than a chance at winning this race, but I think that has just turned into an absolute golden opportunity for the Haas driver, this one. Obviously behind Joseph, or behind Ross, comes the Stampede. Joseph, Prev, Smaller Smiley, D-Bomb, all of them well within a second of each other, and once the DRS gets going, we'll have a bit of a train. John again fastest lap with a 19.6 now. And Small Smiley possibly have a look at Prev. He's approaching quickly. Send it toward the outside. Doesn't get the move done. And Top comes up to 7th if he can hold that round the outside against Greg. It's a good attempt of a move. And he's kept it side by side. We'll go to the inside for turn 2. And comes out ahead of Greg to take up to 7th place. And that insane start continues from Top Gun. He'll be next onto the back of D-Bomb there. And Greg, I think, has lost then place to Flamingo Eagle. There's a bit of shuffling back here. 10-10 and Sun God now are off. Both of them now. It's another Alfa Romeo. Is that cartoon to hit Alfa Romeos tonight? He's been involved with Deflated Wii. He's now been involved with the Sun God. 10-10 has gone well and truly backwards from 2nd on the grid to 3rd from last. Got a little bit of field spread with Ross and Joseph kind of just chilling out, spreading out between each other. But Prev might be the first to be a little bit under the cosh hit from Smaller Smiley in the Ferrari. Let's see if he's got anything that we can use to pass. It looks like Prev may have dumped the battery. Stays convincingly ahead there, I would say. This will be the one to watch, obviously, for what is then 4th place, and Prev obviously has managed to get a bit close to Joseph Hales as well. So that could be an interesting one. We've got Kimi coming into pit. I believe that's a new set of boots and possibly a new front wing on that one. 10-10 has stayed in, as has Sun God. Deflated Wii, after being 2nd from bottom, is now 12th and approaching 11th at a fair old rate of knots. And we can get a little bit of a moment to relax possibly there, because that has been a mental opening few laps, that one. Most of the grid's turned on its head. John stayed where he was. The rest of them seem to have sunk from there. A small Smiley pulling us a nice drift there, just in front of D-Bomb. Looking to use those tyres in a little bit of a better fashion. D-Bomb approaching the back of Smaller Smiley now. Will the Mercedes driver go for it with the DRS? Hits it towards the inside. Side by side, Smaller Smiley leaves enough room. Side's going to fight it on the cutback. And we'll take the outside towards turn 2. And usually that's a little bit of a lost cause at that point, unless the driver goes in too deep. The Mercedes has got it done. There is a Mercedes in the top 5, but not the one you'd have expected. Is D-Bomb on those soft tyres, up to 5th place and continuing the charge. And there's 10-10, and this time it's Deaton who's come off with him. Oh my goodness. It's all happening in and around 10-10. We should just have a second camera on him. Next time he gets near a car, I'll try and get on him, because that has it's been 3 different ones that have happened in and around him now, and Asthma Frog's just lost a couple of places down that sort of back straight there. Onto that guy and onto Novi. Let's have a look onto the start-finish straight, though. It doesn't look like we've got any moves really coming back. I don't think Smaller Smiley's really coming back at Deaton at all on those softs. But D-Bomb may want to dispatch Prev pretty quickly before those softs hit that sort of a grainy phase that they tend to on this game. 10-10 is into the pits. I presume there's a little bit of damage on there. No damage. That's just to get rid of those hard tyres. Onto a set of mediums, so I presume that is going to be medium for the rest of this. We'll rejoin the battle for 3rd, coming down from there. So Prev will likely have D-Bomb crawling all over the back of him toward the start-finish straight where the DRS zone is. But equally, Prev does look like he's clawing back some good time on Joseph as well. There's some definite pace in there for Prev today. If he can really Really put the hammer down here. Could possibly be in for a shot at third, but we'll have D-Bomb to contend with a little bit more close proximity. The second DRS zone here. Now this one you don't tend to be able to do too much with. And D-Bomb learning that quite quickly. We'll spend another lap behind the AlphaTauri. There we are. Oh, it's coming through. We're a fifth of the way through already. Feels like there's been a lot happening for that sort of a time frame. 10:10 is close to Deaton there. Deaton just holding the inside line, ended up getting a little bit shaky on the throttle on the exit of turn 1. 10:10 takes the position reasonably easily, and this is obviously a fight for any sort of point now for the Scotsman. From there, relying on a bit of chaos akin to the start of the race. Back up with the battle for the top 3. Ross looks like he's got away from these a little bit as well. Joseph from Prev, from D-Bomb, from Smaller Smiley, and Top Gun has joined the party on this one. And let's see whether any moves might be made there. Top Gun, I think, probably needed another couple of hundred metres of straight to get alongside Smaller Smiley there. It's not always the best place to pass, as I said, turn 2, more to defend than anything. Do have Kimi and Deaton very close together on track as well. Kimi's tried it down the inside of the final turn. That is ridiculous. Fair play. And Flamingo Eagle is backwards. Flamingo Eagle is off. TD was obviously behind him. I don't know whether anything's gone on there, but Flamingo Eagle's come off. And it is turn 4, which usually would mean if it's not outside influence, there would have been a bump on a curb, I would imagine. But that is Flamingo Eagle down and out of the points now. Slots in just behind his teammate, Novi. We are... We'll come back and see whether there's anything doing in the DRS train, whether anyone can shift it now. Whether they can really upset the order. Small Smiley looked like he had a good exit off of that turn. Has a look to the inside. And really holds on. He's going to keep it in. Oh, he's got a little bit touchy on the throttle. You can see trying to correct a little bit of that little bit on the way out there. But Prev has gone well wide. D-Bomb takes 4th place nice and easily. And Prev is, well, was having a good race to that point. Ended up 4th, has jumped onto the curb. I wonder if he's bottomed out on the curb there as well. It should keep with this battle. I think Smaller Smiley has charitably let him past. So at least we'll take 6th position. As I say, Prev, I think, seemed to bottom out on the curb a bit. And ended up running to the end of what was effectively a train track at that point. Has lost a couple of seconds on this little battle going on as well. So D-Bomb's next target, as we have got another car off. That is Kimi this time, and with damage as well. Definitely a bit of front wing laying on track. D-Bomb's next target is Joseph Hales for 3rd place. To cap off a very good first stint for the Mercedes driver as well, I would say. Gonna send it. Oh, I had more than a thought about it. Trying to maximise the exit, gets there, but I don't think there'll be anything doing into turn 2. So at this point, Joseph's at the tyres, I would imagine, would feel a little bit better than what D-Bomb has got on. Don't know how much good performance life there will be left in those soft tyres on the Mercedes there. He's the only one of the soft runners who has actually made a bit of ground, I would say, as D-Bomb obviously has been a beneficiary of a few incidents just in front of him. as Flamingo Eagle and Deton. Flamingo Eagle, I think, is next to take Deton actually before the DRS zone. And Deton with the wings still isn't able to pull the pass. Kimi is back here. Speaking of wings, Kimi is into the pits for a new one on his wagon. And that's a retirement for Kimi. So the first retiree of the race is the Williams driver. Let's see whether there'll be anything doing again on this battle. Joseph moving out of the toe, or moving out to break the toe. He's back in. D-Bomb will be looking to maximise the exit this time, and he's got a good one. Will he get close enough to Joseph to have a pass? Oh! Joseph has squeezed it as far as he could, and there's contact. D-Bomb and Joseph making contact on the way into turn 2. Joseph committed to the inside line at the corner. D-Bomb wanted more, went onto the grass, forced a way in, looked like contact, and there looked like there was a little bit of car flying off there as well, so I think there is damage on one of those. That is muscles, if I'm being kind about it. There is another off there, and that is a virtual safety car. It is that guy that is involved again. Looked like he may have got involved with Novi, I think. If there's any damage on either of these cars. Novi maybe. Definitely on that guy. That McLaren will need new front wing. And that's, as I say, a VSC. So John has used that to come in. Good shout. He's got a 10-second gap on Ross. Ross stays out. D-Bomb has pretty much got prime time to pit in. So Ross takes the lead for a little bit. Joseph has sped in the pit lane again. Oh no. Hey Snacks, how are you? That's Joseph again speeding in the pit lane though. New front wing obviously for that one. So has got at least somewhat of an excuse. Not enough downforce on the car, but that is another one. And the drive-through for Padge. Speeding under the VSC for Padge will be coming straight through the pits. Not stopping, just pass and go. And taking a penalty there. John has come out in 3rd place, and he is right all over the back of Top Gun on those old mediums. Up to 2nd, by the way, Top Gun, from 20th on the grid. It's a brilliant performance so far. It would be great if he can keep hold of that, but I think a lot of drivers behind him have pitted during that VSC. Got to feel that maybe a little bit of a blunder that somebody has not pitted under that. John has come in for another set of mediums, so it is a 2-stop for the Haas driver, as it is presumably for D-Bomb, because I would also guess he's not going to get those mediums to the end. So we are looking at Smaller Smiley currently being tailed by Prev. That is about 8/10 in that there for 4th place. We've got the Padge into the pits to serve that drive through. Walk of shame for that McLaren. Don't want to speed in that now. 10-10 gets up into 10th place. And oh, hang on. Bit of a drift for us there from Asthma Frog. Joseph also tailing Deflated Wee. And both of these have definitely been in the wars. There's been a lot going on in this one. And that's another thing. A tying penalty now for Joseph. 3 seconds, as if the 5 first of all wasn't enough. We are still with John obviously in a net lead of the race. Is tailing his teammate who will give him DRS, being a lapped car. But Ross just 1.2 seconds ahead. And Ross can see his mirrors fill with the black and white and red of a Haas very, very soon, as Prev takes Smaller Smiley as he dives into the pits. We have a yellow on track in Sector 3 that's cleared up. Smaller Smiley looking for a slick stop there. D-Bomb goes through, Deflator goes through, Joseph goes through. Should make it out just before 1010 comes out, so still in 8th place there is Smaller Smiley. But John, wow, sniffing the gearbox of that Williams. He's going to have to be patient and wait another lap for it, by the looks of it, unless he can pull a miracle move. Let's stick on board with the Haas. Surely not. Surely not round here. Going to get a better exit, you'd imagine. Goes toward the inside and is going to throw it towards the inside of turn 12. Side by side there, but makes it through, makes it work. And again, Ross, you have to feel maybe a little bit of a mistake not pitting under the VSC. And a nice cheap stop for the Williams driver. Maybe he's trying to hang it out for softs. Maybe he's expecting something else to happen, but that was prime position, as it was for Top Gun as well, to have pitted him for stop on that one. What else have we got going on down the field? We've got Tenten and Greg quite close together. Tenten is still in 10th place. His next target ahead of him is TD. Top Gun coming out of the pits should make it out comfortably ahead of Smaller Smiley, you imagine. Yep. Just see him going round that first corner. Smaller Smiley got it all to do. Top Gun is going to the end on those. It's a set of hard tyres there, and Asthma Frog comes in and retires in pits. So that is the first one who I've seen commit to a one stop. I think Top Gun had a tearing start and has gone to 7th place, as I say, from 20th on the grid. Fantastic drive so far. Prev has got D-Bomb for close company now, and again, that Mercedes on newer tyres is going to want to get rid of Prev as quickly as is possible. They've let Asthma Frog's car out. They've let Asthma Frog's car out. Stopped on the Kinker turn between turn 1 and 2, but that's clear. And there goes D-Bomb on Prev. There he goes. Has the move just about done well before the first turn again. And it's comfortable then for the Mercedes driver, obviously, as we'd expect on those newer, softer, grippier tyres. We do have Greg getting a little bit more familiar with the back of that Mercedes there in 1010. Flamingo Eagle. Sun God is in the pits, so jumping up a position on there. Comes in for a new set of mediums, does the Alfa Romeo driver. So one of two who have had an incident with 1010 in this race so far. The other one, we are following and is in 5th place at the moment, Deflated Wee. He's coming under the VSC and has taken a set of mediums. Could be the next one for Prev to be slightly wary of. Those hards do look like they're possibly starting to fall away a bit. See, based on that, you would wonder if it's maybe going to be a little bit difficult for Top Gun to take those to the end. But Ross is into the pits. He's in for a new set of hards. Deflated has that move done on Prev again well before the actual first turn in there. In terms of the one stoppers, Top Gun has undercut Ross, but you wonder if the margin is big enough for that to be effective. I don't believe it will be. Let's see, next up in terms of the drivers that are going to pass by Prev on those old hard tyres. Joseph Hale's now 5 laps on those mediums. And I would imagine again this one should be a relatively easy dispatch at the end of the start-finish straight, if not a little bit before. Joseph have gone to the outside here. Oh, Prev knocking into him a little bit. He holds the line, does Joseph. Brilliant little move, despite the little tap through from Prev. To take 4th place at the second to last and around the outside of the second to last turn. And pulling away towards turn 1 there. Prev really no chance of getting back there. I'll say those tyres may well have had it. So I can only imagine he's possibly running it out for some soft setters. We've got Smaller Smiley and Ross side by side. Who's got the DRS? It is Smaller Smiley. Ross filters in back behind. And Smaller Smiley takes 7th place. And Top Gun will absolutely love that, I will tell you. It is the Red Bull driver and Ross and the Williams who are both in that same race. So Smaller Smiley being between him or between those two for a bit will definitely help out the Red Bull driver. Storming from 20th on the grid. We've also got Greg and Novi getting quite close together. As that guy goes into the steward's little black book for track limits warnings. Novi clonking over that inside curve of turn 7. And really looking like, say, he should have at least a little bit of capacity to keep with Greg. I don't think those tyres will be too different at that sort of age. But we are going to keep with Ross and with Smaller Smiley for now, though. Smaller Smiley looking to maximise exit through the outside of the turn. But Ross with the DRS could well be coming back at the Ferrari driver. Smaller commits to the inside to try and hold it. Ross goes to the outside. Better exit and DRS this time for Lewis Williams. And just about nips in ahead of Smaller Smiley. And takes that 7th place back. That will have still held him up. And Top Gun again will be very, very happy with that. At the time at which he's now beginning to catch the back of the AlphaTauri on those very aged tyres. And Pod Camper rightly points out in the chat, John is cooking. I mean, he might be cooking for all we know. He could be cooking and racing at the same time. And there's Top Gun. He's going to... has a look towards the inside of turn 12. I think Prev left enough room for it to happen. Really being squeezed by Prev on those old tyres, looking to survive it. I think should be able to set the move up as Prev finally dives into the pits. Had enough of those old hards. Comes on in. Has been going backwards for about 5 laps or so now, but Top Gun was going to get him anyway. There goes Top Gun through into 5th place, and obviously Ross, 2.5 behind, has pulled a second whilst Ross was being slowed down. I think he'd have wanted to have seen Prev stay out with Top Gun. But as was rightly pointed out, let's have a look at our featured driver tonight. John. Cooking just 19 seconds ahead of everyone. Like I said, I think he could afford to go and do some cooking. But he is absolutely storming it. It's, you know, it's a Verstappen kind of one. See, we have got close on track. I think it is still this battle with the Ferrari of Smaller Smiley and those new hard tyres on Ross's Williams. We are keep with again. These are the closest on track at the moment. Smaller Smiley will still have DRS. I think it's just a matter of trying to get a little bit closer to Ross before those tyres go off and before he then needs to come in for some pit or come into pit. That is getting close there. Prev, obviously on a new set of mediums, having come into the pits, has sent it down the inside of that guy who has had an uncharacteristically strange race at the back there. There's Deton going very, very wide. Does take a track limits penalty for that. Got Padge crawling all over the back of Jay Clates now. Flamingo Eagle retires in pit, and Padge has it done down the inside of Jay Clates there. Newer, softer rubber, again doing the job for the McLaren driver, who has taken a drive-through during this race. There we go, back to Ross and Smaller Smiley again, fighting for 6th place. Ross obviously is heading up the 2 here. Again, Smaller Smiley really just using it to sort of keep hold, I think, from what I can tell there. That is 10-10 into the pits. He's done well to obviously make as many positions as he has so far. We'll have to do it all again though on another new set of mediums, I would presume. There it is. Mediums have been good in this race. He's got about 14 laps to really try and make some inroads into the lead of some of the cars ahead of him. Comes out into 13th. He's got 13 seconds forward to that guy. And from there, points should just about be in sight if he can reach the back of the Alpha Tauris. Flamingo Eagle came in and retired from this race, making him the 3rd retiree. We've had Kimmy and Aspen Frog both retire in the pits as well. Okay. I've got Deton in chat. I think I'm under an obligation to tell you to focus on the race, is what I will say. And Joseph comes in 11 laps on those particular mediums. Has got 5 seconds to wait for the last penalty of speeding in the pit lane. And he is then passed by his teammate. Comes onto another new set of mediums, but will end up probably a little bit closer to 10-10 on exit. Comes up just ahead of him. One end of the straight to the other, really, there. This is where it gets interesting with strategy. We're going to have a few more strategies clashing together. Now, a few more positions up for grabs, bit more chance for chaos with some older tyres. We've still got Smaller Smiley hanging well onto Ross, with those mediums not obviously going off too badly, and we have, I think that's going to be Deton off, I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, it's come off through the chicane there at 6 and 7. Quick yellow flag, nice and easily cleared up there. Now, looking at this, we've then got TD on those 11 lap hole mediums, being chased by Novi, who are both being chased by Prev, and I think both of these could be vulnerable. TD comes in, Novi looking to stay out though. You could see a pass on track here as Prev steams up to the back of that Alpine with the DRS. And the Dutchman has it done well before turn 1. Better exit onto the start finish straight. 10-10. Bangs in the fastest lap with an 18.1. Also, not forgetting John does still have to come in, which can only be interesting if he manages to miss time and stop somehow. But there's 10-10 obviously with the fastest lap, and Joseph Hales hanging off the back of that guy, and Greg now to make some ground and get into the points here. He's practically pushing that McLaren around turn 5, and is he going to look at the inside of the chicane? He is, and that's a good move, absolutely clinical from Joseph Hales. It has to be absolutely spot on from both drivers down there. You have to be committed on the inside, and you have to make sure you're prepared to give ground if you're on the outside, and both of them have done exactly what you'd ask of them there. As Joseph then goes towards the inside of turn 12, and obviously Greg got out of that a bit, but that is very, very good all round from Joseph there. A couple of positions in about 5 corners. Fantastic little move into the 6-7 chicane there. Greg finally gives up and comes in on those mediums. 10-10 again, taking another 3/10 off of his fastest lap there. 17.8 now. So we have Smaller Smiley. A little bit more downforce on that car approaching the back of Ross. John has been in. He is on a set of soft tyres. Look to blitz some fastest laps in for the rest of the race, I would imagine. Top Gun is holding on to third, and the longer Smaller Smiley and Ross end up fighting between each other, the better this could turn out for the Red Bull driver. 3rd place at the minute. And that could be an absolutely huge race to come back for Top Gun there. From the back of the grid at the beginning. And Deflated comes in. Those mediums are being discarded, as are the ones on Smaller Smiley's car. Ferrari driver in again as well. Ross is free of the Ferrari for now, as both Deflated and Smaller Smiley come in for a set of soft tyres, new ones at that. And D-Bomb comes through for 4th, having pitted just a lap ago for some mediums. Novi's kept those hard tyres on. I wonder whether he's going to come in for some softs at any point now. Whether he's going to look to hang them out. As 10-10 and that guy finally, I think 10-10 has dispatched that McLaren. Trev, I think obviously 6th place at the moment, may have a job to hold on to that if some drivers can keep some of the pace going that they have had there. Top Gun is 2nd place at the minute. He is 4.2 seconds ahead of Ross. Ross has got a couple of laps newer tyres. John bangs in the fastest lap now. I just want to say how good this has been for Top Gun. And got Deflated. Approaching the back of D-Bomb now. And that's a nice and easy one for Deflated there. That's the 4th place. Straight down the straight as you'd expect, really, with the soft tyres to have a better exit. These are a sprinting tyre now, aren't they? So all of these guys on here absolutely hammering it to the end. Would presume on there. Top Gun has had 2 stops, hasn't he? Or did he? No, he started on the mediums. No, that's okay. So, see, 10-10 could then be looking at some more prey. Obviously, is currently recovering a point from this. Could be looking a bit better for him in a few moments' time, coming up to the back of that Alpine of Novi. There's very old tyres on that one, as we have a McLaren off. That is Padge off. It's come off at turn 1. 10-10 will be looking to get this move done nice and easily down the start finish straight, I'd imagine. Novi has parked it well, just to try and prevent an exit, but 10-10 has crafted his own line through there. And again has come in very, very early in there. And that move is complete. 10-10 up to 9th now. Next up for him, maybe Smaller Smiley, but Smaller Smiley with some nice new soft tyres on is not going to be a pushover by any means. Also chasing Joseph there, who goes off and wide, and Smaller Smiley has also done the same thing and got 3 seconds for it. Rev, of course, kept this nice and clean as well, so as long as if he loses the position to Joseph and Smaller, as long as he can keep 3 seconds. There's still some very, very good points in here for Prev. But we have got the Top Gun now. He's got DRS from a lapped McLaren there, I believe, of Padge. He is still seeming to get away from Ross quite nicely, even on the sort of couple of laps offset on the tyres there. We have Joseph looking at the back of Prev to try and get the move done. Oh, considers hanging it to the outside, but Prev just sort of blocks the line on exit. Joseph now looking toward the inside. Oh, outbraked himself a bit. Has really thrown it in. Thrown it in too deep there, and we have a car off. That I believe may well be Jay Clates. Yep, that's Jay Clates off in the service road there. On the exit of turn 3. I did get worried that it'd be Top Gun for a second. Had Austria flashbacks. But no, that's still Top Gun is facing the right way. And we are still with Prev, Joseph and Smaller Smiley all line of stern coming through. And Smaller Smiley not anymore. Oh my. Dives down the inside there. Joseph gives him enough room. And Joseph, oh, okay. Joseph comes in. Looks like it's clipped Smaller Smiley's rear tyre. Sent them both for a half spin. Looked desperate to get the place back there, Joseph, but has just struggled to get that car stopped in a couple of corners now. And Smaller Smiley is chasing Prev. Going to hang it around the outside on those fresh soft tyres. And a little bit of wheel banging on the way out of turn 1, but Smaller Smiley's got the move done. The RS assist toward turn 2 will give him no end of help. And that is 6th place for Smaller Smiley, and we have got deflated right on the back of Ross here in a move that is sure to please Top Gun if Ross decides to fight it for quite a while. This is all track position now. Let's say they have all done their stops. We have deflated on a fresh set of softs against Ross on an aging set of hards. I imagine this will be fairly easy pickings for the Alfa Romeo driver to move up onto the podium. He's going to buy this time. And we'll probably try and have a look. Looked like he almost outbraked himself a little bit there, but a wider line through the penultimate corner. But looked like he'll set it up quite nicely, I think, for the move. Before the DRS, or just after the DRS is even active. Very good move there. Set him up really, really nicely deflated. He's on a charge. Will he be able to get Top Gun in time for 2nd place? That is the next question. As Joseph and Prev go through. Prev's dive to the inside. Doesn't need to do it. Joseph's got penalties and don't need to do it, Prev. Just tries to keep hold of that 7th place on track in a slightly desperate fashion there, Prev, I would say. No need to attempt that move. And there's one else, Aston Martin on Alpha Tauri. The other one's coming through as well. TD to the outside of turn 1 on Greg. Gets a really nice move done there. A little bit of a wiggle on exit. But keeps the position. TD up to 12th. And I think that may be as good as he gets, depending on how that guy and Novi's tyres go off. A good move there from TD. We've now got D-Bomb next up to the back of Ross. Looking to seal the 4th place and potentially even go after Deflated Wee. Deflated has pulled a 2nd on Top Gun, but even at that rate it's not going to be enough, as D-Bomb keeps the inside and gets the move done very, very early again on Ross. That's the kind of thing where now these hard tyres are starting to go off. There is going to be a little bit more pain for anyone who's done a 1-stop. For Ross, who has done a 1-stop. Top Gun has used a good amount of pace to get to where he is. Of course, everyone's been blitzed by John, but Top Gun has done very, very well. Has to be much more than even a contender for driver of the day, you'd say. We have Joseph and Prev in the battle on screen at the moment, with 10-10 coming up to escort them through as well. There's not a lot of tyre difference between these. Prev will of course be looking to hold on to Joseph's coattails, and 10-10 could be in for some more points here as well, even if he doesn't get a move done on Prev or Joseph. Following through, obviously, with the helicam shot towards the final couple of turns. We have a three-way battle for 7th place brewing here, whether Prev will get back into it, whether 10-10 might have a little bit of a go. We don't know, but we are about to find out. There is Joseph. Prev goes to the inside, dives on in. Gives him enough room on the outside there, more than enough. Prev obviously comes through. 10-10's looked at it, but he's going to let these two go for it. Joseph gets the place back, runs it just wide, and Prev manages to keep holding the position ahead of 10-10 for now. 10-10 surely not. He's going to attempt it there, but Prev has gone off wide. Wheel banging with 10-10. And Prev ends up losing the position to 10-10. Valiant effort, but was spooked ever so slightly by the Mercedes down the inside, I would imagine there. And a couple of close acquaintances on track this evening renew their battle again. We've got Ross and we've got Smaller Smiley, but this time I would imagine it'd be a little bit easier for the Ferrari driver to get around Ross on this occasion. Ross on a one-stop definitely looked a good sort of good strategy, but ultimately isn't paying out and loses another position. Drops down to 6th now as Joseph comes into the pits. May well be going for a fastest lap on the final lap there, I would imagine. Pop a set of softs on. We are looking at a half-decent finish still here. Like I say, we have got obviously deflated. I think he's chasing Top Gun. Like I say, there isn't really much going on in and around that one. 4.5 seconds between the two. There is a yellow. Oh, quick yellow. Quickly cleared up. We are on the final lap now, and John obviously has been absolutely imperious in this race. I haven't needed to mention him too much because obviously he has been all the way ahead. It's again the Max Verstappen-like performance, and absolutely brutal. Just kept pace and kept it going and going and going. Sounds easy when you just say you need to drive a car fast. Believe me, John has done this very, very well. He's got a lead, nearly 25 seconds over the next car behind him. We follow him through the final few corners. Final sector now we'll be on towards the line. Absolutely flawless. Let's the Aston Martin go and unlap themselves. TD getting an extra lap there. But John, like I say, been outstanding in quali. He's set the pace. And in the race it's been no different. The Haas driver crosses the line and John wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. Fantastic drive all round there from the American. The featured driver for tonight. Very, very well done. Was that one. Because Joseph Hales is out. Joseph Hales is out, and that is on track. Let's see if we can catch it there. I think he's come into the wall, has he? Or is that... has it got itself going? I think he's retired on track without a front wing. Top Gun. We've missed him coming over the line, but comes in for second place. And a cracking second place at that. From 20th and dead last on the grid at the start. Cracking drive from Red Bull. Deflated Wee for 3rd. D-Bomb takes 4th. Smaller Smiley 5th. Ross ends up in 6th place, going a little bit backwards on those hard tyres. 7th for 1010. 8th for Prev after a promising sort of qualifying session there for him. Novi 9th, and that guy will come over for 10th. Greg will be pushing to the line there. I know that guy did have a couple of penalties. That is Greg's race done in 11th. And TD comes through as the final unlapped runner in 12th. That is, as I said, a brilliant race. Driver of the day from the game goes to Top Gun, and I would not be, not be surprised at all with that. I would not grumble one bit with that one. That is a cracking race from John, and a cracking race from Top Gun. Both of those really well done, and of course Deflated Wee completing the podium in the Alfa Romeo after being nigh on dead last on lap 1 as well. Lots and lots of movers and shakers in this race. It's John who certainly, as he pulls a little bit more toward 1010 in the championship battle. 1010 picking up just 6 points in this one. John taking full compliments for the race win and the fastest lap in this one at 16.9. Getting closer to getting to within about a second and a half of qualifying pace there. But we are all done with this one. And like I say, a fantastic little race from the top 3. See, that guy still scrambling and grabbing a point in the end. Obviously, we had our retirees at the bottom there. It was always a tough race in Hungary. There was always a little bit of attrition, a little bit of a madness, and we certainly saw it there. I say 1010 and Deflated were at the back at that one. And Deflated obviously recovering well for a podium. 1010 grabbing points at 7th place. Of course, a fantastic drive, as I say, highlighting for John there. Absolutely imperious in that one. And of course, as I say, Top Gun on a cracking recovery. Brilliant from 20th to 7th. Obviously, that is this week all done. Obviously, the Hungarian round on there. Next week we have a trip to Belgium. So obviously for this tier it'll be next Tuesday, and it'll be a sprint format again. So just thought we got away from one sprint format, we're going for another one at Spa. Of course, again, we've got 81 and 82 to do this track all over again between now and then. So it will be the 81 on Thursday, 82 on Sunday. Obviously, it's been a pleasure to call this one, and I hope obviously everyone else has a good week. Thanks for. Well, Sunday's delayed, you say. Is that not next week? Yeah, I thought that one would be next week, Snacks. It's Hungary this week, isn't it? Yeah. Snacks confusing me. There we go. So, yeah, I hope you have a good week, everyone. And I'll see you next week with these guys, but make sure you tune in obviously for the rest of the week, and obviously give everyone else some support as well. Right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good week, everyone.